Will you please read our learning target for today?
Okay. I can write a fraction as a whole, as a product of a whole number, and making it.
Okay. So we worked on this learning target last week, and that's why it's already broken down. But today we added in a word problem. So the problems are no longer just numbers, but the numbers are inside of a real world problem that word problem that we would need to solve.
Like money.
Maybe it's a money problem. A lot of these problems are going to be related to making recipes because we often see fractions in recipes. So, we said we were going to be communicators, thinkers, and risk takers. Do those learner profiles still apply?
Yeah.
All right, so remember, I am explicitly teaching this lesson. When I am explicitly teaching this lesson, Hadley, share with us what you guys are going to be doing.
We are going to write a fraction as a product of a whole number.
Okay, but remember, when I'm teaching the lesson, what are you guys doing?
Watching.
You're just watching,
And
you're listening, and you're thinking, because after I explicitly teach it, you're going to practice with me. Okay, so if you're holding anything, I need you to put it down, and I need you just to have your eyes up here and your ears on. Connor, what can I do for you?
Soon are we going to use the paper?
Yes.
Okay.
Good question. All right.
Just curious.
So as I get ready, I am going to read our word problem. It says, you are making brownies. You make 3 pans. You decide to add some chocolate chips. You are going to add 3 cups of chips to each pan. You only have 1/4 cup. How many 1/4 cups will you use? This is very similar to the work that we did last week. So as I'm reading this problem, I'm going to circle the numbers that I'm going to be using. Well, I know that I'm going to be using 3 because that's how many pans I have. I know I'm going to be using 3/4 because that's how many I'm going to add, how many chocolate chips.
You said 3.
I'm sorry, 3/4.
And that's why I got that messed up.
If we could stop learning, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. And then I'm going to use 1/4 because that's how many cups I actually have. So the question is, how many 1/4 cups will I use? Well, I'm thinking, man, the best way to solve this problem is to draw a picture. So I'm going to go back and I'm making brownies, and I'm making 3 pans. And I know when I make brownies, I make them in a rectangular shaped pan. So I'm going to draw 3 pans.
How many brownies right now?
Now, I have my 3 pans, so I've already used this number. I went back into my problem to make sure that I'm using all my numbers. Next, you decide to add chocolate chips. You are going to add 3/4 cups to each pan. So I'm going to put a 3/4 here, a 3/4 here, and a 3/4 here, because that's how many cups go in each pan. But I have a problem. I only have a 1/4 cup that I can use. So I have to think to myself, if I only have a 1/4 cup, how many cups, 1/4 cups, will I use altogether? Remember, I'm explicitly teaching this, so keep this thought in your head to see if your answer matches up with my answer. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to think, if I need 3/4 cup, and I need to know how many 1/4 cups I'm going to use, I'm going to go back to my unit fractions, and I know that in 3/4, if I were to break this apart, I would have 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4.
Yay!
So I know that in this pan alone, I need 3 1/4 cups.
Or 1/4 times 3.
So I put 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. So I need 3 of those 1/4 cups. Well, it's 3/4. Hey girls, if I could get your attention, please. Thank you. Because this is going to be important for you to listen so that you know how to do it when we eventually get to you working on your own. Thank you.
Oh, I know this, Miss Johnson.
Awesome. So I'm glad you're making that connection, Derek. So 3/4. Once again, I know that if I break up 3/4 into fourths, I have 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 cups. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to break it apart and do the same thing because it's the same fraction.
And then you count them all up.
Let me say
So now, I'm going to go back to my problem. I have my 3 pans, I have my 3/4, and I have broken them apart or divided them into 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. How many 4th cups will I use? Well, in order to figure that out, all I'm going to do is use repeated addition, and I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yay.
So my answer is I would use
9, 4.
I will use 9 1/4 cups of
Looks like
chocolate
9 minus
Chip.
1/4.
chips. I put a hyphen in there so I know that I'm talking about 9 1/4 cups, so it's not 9 and 1/4. So hold on 1 second, Connor. So I'm double checking that I used all my numbers, which I did, and that I solved the answer. How many 1/4 cups will I use? I will use 9 1/4 cups of chocolate chips. So I solved the problem. So if I'm looking back to our learning target, I can write a fraction as a product of a whole number and a unit fraction.
Brand new from off the box.
What I did is I was able to break apart 3/4 into our unit fractions in a word problem.
Honestly, these came out pretty good.
What questions do you have about this problem? James,
Well, I don't have a question, but
you may
you
stop
could
it,
have
Mr. Mills.
done
Thank you.
3 times.